Hey guys, this is Patrick. Welcome to the shift.
There we go. This is good. What's up, guys? My name's Chris Ramsey and welcome to the shift. Today I'm going to present the shift to you from the floor of my home for no reason. Hope you guys had a pleasant week. This week we got a pretty cool show in store for you. And before we get to that, let's announce the winner of last week's contest like we usually do. Except this time, guys, I've actually not chosen a winner yet. So let's do that together. I will go shift. I had Wes Barker do the intro of the shift last week. Hope you guys like that. I've been asking a lot of my friends to send in a small intro. So we had Penn, we had Wes, we had Spidey, and this week we had Patrick Kuhn, which is pretty badass. How do we choose? Do we choose by originality, randomness, or by their funny names? These are the criteria that I use. All right, let's do this. Henry Sirota. Henry Sirota. Sirota? You win. Oh, I didn't drum roll. Henry, send us your info via Facebook, facebook.com/Murphy's Magic Supplies, and we'll send that out to you ASAP. The lighting in here is fluctuating because I got this massive bay window. And so if the light fluctuates during the video, just pretend it's like a special effect that I'm doing. It's next level. It's meta editing. For this week's contest, simply like this video and comment below what you thought about the tricks, the video, the performance, whatever, and I'll choose one of you guys. I don't like to give you guys too much criteria. It makes it I don't like to restrain you. You're free. Do whatever you want. This week we have two very cool effects. Do I have them here somewhere with me? Oh no, I forgot them. I'll be right back. Sleep mode on my living room floor. Alright, here we go, guys. I'm back. This week we have actually two effects that I'm going to show you, but one of them comes from a book entitled The 80's called They Want Their Magic Book Back. Gnoots. By Johnathan Friedman, and an introduction by David Regal. So we'll get into this, and then we have Impale. I'm just gonna put this here, so on my face. We have Impale. Impale is a Sharpie through deck effect where visually goes through, and then you pull out a regular deck of cards from the deck. Pretty fooling, pretty cool, and we'll look at that in a second as well. So let's start with the 80's called They Want Their Magic Book Back, Volume 1. Have a look at a short performance I did, and we'll talk about that and more after this.
I think a lot of us can agree that owning a hoverboard would probably be the coolest thing in the world. I mean, the first time I seen that in Back to the Future, it was probably the thing that I wanted the most, and to this day, still do. And we know hoverboard technology's come a long way, but we're still a few years away from achieving that real hoverboard. So for now, we'll have to improvise. Ooh. I think Marty McFly and the Doc would be proud.
So that was a performance, and I'm going to give you the name of that trick. There's so many in here, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It is called, I will give you the name of the effect, Hot Air. So Hot Air, the way it's taught in the book, the premise is hot air balloons, how you can make them lift up, and there's a few phases where the deck box actually jumps back into your hand. You end clean, which is very nice. The box can be examined, the deck can be examined. I decided to take my own 80's spin on it and have a hoverboard Back to the Future reference, which I think is kind of cool. So forgive me, Jonathan, if I didn't take it verbatim. Kind of made it my own. Thought it was a visually fun trick to do and can be done on the fly, impromptu. A lot of these tricks can be done on the fly. I mean, he does have some setup tricks, some gimmick stuff, but there is a plethora, got to use that word today, of effects that you can learn and perform right off the bat. One of the effects that really stuck out for me was a key bend effect, where you borrow a key, bend it, right, all sorts of directions, snap it off, and visually put it back together and hand it right out. A really clever method and practical and easy to do. He's got some coin stuff in there. He's got some popcorn magic, some pretzel magic. So it's fun to read because a lot of these premises are derived from 80s culture, which I thought was pretty cool, as well as the artwork in here, some of the jokes and stuff. So I really enjoyed that a lot. You get a ton of effects. I don't exactly know how many effects there are in here. Hold on, give me a second. So we have here probably about, I would say, anywhere between 12 and 18 effects. And among these effects, there are moves that you're going to learn for the effects. You get those extra things that you can do with what you wish. Quite enjoyable to read, and just like myself, you can take something out of this book and adapt it to your own performance, and that's I think that's the greatest thing you can possibly do with magic books. So hope you guys check this out. This is the 80's called And They Want Their Magic Book Back by Johnathan Friedman. Next up on the deal we have Impale. Check out the performance and we'll talk about it after this.
You know why they call this a sharpie, right? It's actually the sharpest object in the world. Check it out. It's in fact so sharp that it cuts virtually through every card in the deck without even leaving a mark.
So that was a performance of Impale. I quite liked that trick. I liked the video. I liked doing it. That was actually first take, so I really love that. This is probably the most visual object through deck that I've seen, and that the cards can be handed out, like the deck isn't empty. For me, that sells it right away. I think if you're gonna do something like that, you have to have the deck full of cards, and you have to be able to look at the cards after, and you have to be able to look at the box after. So with this DVD, let's start here. With this DVD, you get the gimmick and the supplies you need. Now I say supplies, and a lot of you are probably cringing, as was I when I opened this, and I'm like, oh god, what do I have to build this week? I think I ran out of super glue. Who runs out of super glue? So Sands and Minds pulled through this time. They built everything for you, basically. There are a few things that you can add, which I didn't. I just did it as is, and that was the performance that you got. It's a really cheeky method. It's really, really fooling. And there's one component of this that makes it more fooling because of that component, and I can't divulge that, but I can say that you can end clean in a performance. They teach you a way. Now I'm going to tell you, I don't like the way that they clean up on the DVD. I think it's horrendous. It's sloppy. The cards look like they're going to drop. And in my professional work, when I work, I don't like to look like the guy who doesn't know how to hold a deck of cards, because why are they paying me this much money if I can't even hold the deck of cards? So I really dislike that. I thought it was the worst handling of the cleanup you could possibly do. I apologize for that. But what you can do, which I figured out, which I think is easier, more natural, is once you take the cards out of the box, you put the box away in your pocket. If they want to see it, you can pull it right back out and show it to them. But at least you're clean. You're completely clean. So I can tell you that, and that's how I would advise you do the trick. You know, Nicholas Lawrence is for all intents and purposes a genius when it comes to creating. I think he's a brilliant guy in terms of creating effects and visual effects, that is. Now, a lot of his stuff isn't as practical as you would like it to be. That's not to say that Nicholas can't perform it, because he performs everything he does very well, as you can see on a lot of performance videos. However, you know, because they're his products, he's put the time and effort, where I understand a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to put the time and effort into a quick visual trick. This one, however, doesn't require that much effort and it doesn't require that much time, and it's very visual. So I think the ratio to what you put in to what you get out is massive. I think it's really great. So there's an instructional on here, performance tips, yada yada yada, but I think once you start watching, you figure out how it's done, you take it and you fly with it, because it's one of those tricks. It's really cool. Really, really cool. So I like this a lot. Impale by Jason Yu and Nicholas Lawrence. Check it out. Alright folks, I think that about wraps it up for this week's edition of The Shift. Did I forget anything? What? Something I didn't talk about? I'm feeling there is. Oh yeah, I promised you guys like a news section. I never followed through with that. I should probably get on that. I really enjoyed this week's shift. This is nice. Can't do this every week. I think if I make this a habit, you guys will just think I'm lazy. Which I am. I just don't want you to think that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. An absolute pleasure to read your guys' comments. Once again, write down in the comments below what you thought of the effects, the show, whatever. And I'll choose one of you guys to take these 2 prizes home next week, which is huge, because these are 2 massive prizes you'll want to win. So share, like, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you next Sunday. So have a good weekend for what's left of it. And peace out. Oh, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a plug. I put up a cool video performance recently that I did at the Quebec Magic Festival, and I forgot to link that last week. So if you guys want to check out that performance, click the link below, the YouTube link to my channel, and you guys can check that out.